Is your team ready to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day? We're here to help you get started. Today, we're sharing ideas for celebrating MLK Day at work. Hello, I'm Paris with Unexpected Virtual Tours and Training. We host radically creative DEI and team building events for remote and hybrid teams. Today, we are sharing tips for planning workplace celebrations for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is so much more than just a federal holiday. Observed every year on the third Monday of January, this is a time for us to pause and reflect on the life and legacy of a man who tirelessly championed the ideals of equality, justice, and service. MLK Day presents a unique opportunity for our workplaces to demonstrate commitment to these values, as well as to integrate them into our organizational culture in meaningful ways. Regardless of whether your team is virtual or in person, we've got some great ideas for celebrating this day. Let's get started. To fully appreciate the significance of MLK Day, it's helpful to take a moment to understand its history. This holiday was first proposed in 1968, shortly after Dr. King's assassination. However, getting the holiday made into law took years of effort. And it's only thanks to the advocacy of people like Coretta Scott King and Stevie Wonder that the bill making the holiday official was signed in 1983. The holiday was finally observed nationwide in 1986 and in 1994. It was designated as a National Day of Service. This encouraged people and organizations across the country to use this day as a chance to actively give back to their communities. There are so many ways to celebrate MLK Day that go beyond simply acknowledging the holiday. The King Center for Nonviolent Social Change reminds us that this holiday is a day on, not a day off. For Dr. King, service was central to his vision of a better society, and so observing this day actively is one of the best ways we can honor his legacy. Volunteering as a team can be a powerful way to bring people together while making a tangible impact. Consider participating in a local food drive, cleaning up a public park, or mentoring students from underrepresented backgrounds interested in your professional field. When employees unite to serve others, it reinforces a shared commitment to Dr. King's ideals. For organizations that operate remotely or have hybrid teams, there are plenty of ways to adapt this spirit of service to the virtual space. For instance, your team could participate in online volunteering projects, such as mentoring students through video calls or transcribing historical documents for museums and archives. One meaningful approach is to focus on education about Dr. King's life and the civil rights movement. For example, your company could host a session where you dive into his impactful speeches, like the I Have a Dream address, or screen a documentary that explores the civil rights movement in depth. These activities not only offer valuable historical context, but also create space for important conversations about how the fight for equality continues today. Educational activities like these work particularly well for remote teams. You could organize a virtual book or film club where team members discuss works related to Dr. King's legacy or broader social justice themes. This creates an opportunity for dialogue and reflection in a format that's accessible to everyone. One other engaging option is to participate in a virtual tour or workshop. We offer many interactive experiences that explore African American history and the civil rights movement. Our 30-minute MLK Day event is a special one. This 30-minute interactive virtual experience discusses Dr. King's legacy as a civil rights leader, of course, but it also shares moving stories of his life as a man, as a neighbor, pastor, and father, including a live streaming visit to the Sweet Auburn neighborhood of Atlanta, Georgia, where he grew up. Our virtual events like this one are designed to both educate and inspire, and they're a fantastic way to bring your team together, even from afar. Check out the links we've added in the comments to learn more about great virtual events for MLK Day and Black History Month. Beyond education and service, fostering open dialogue is another powerful way to honor MLK Day at work. Creating spaces where employees feel safe discussing diversity, equity, and inclusion helps build a more inclusive workplace culture. You might consider hosting a panel discussion with guest speakers or organizing small group conversations where employees can share their own perspectives and experiences. These discussions can lead to deeper understanding and spark meaningful change. Another way to celebrate is by supporting charitable organizations that align with Dr. King's vision. This is another activity that translates well to virtual workplaces since employees can work together to raise funds or gather resources through online platforms. Fundraisers or donation drives for nonprofits focused on social justice, education, or economic equity can unite employees around a shared cause while making a real difference in the community. If you want to be sure to support an organization that you know is connected to Dr. King, you could donate directly to the King Center for Nonviolent Social Change, which was founded by Coretta Scott King shortly after her husband's death, to make sure his work and legacy would be carried on. As we reflect on ways to observe MLK Day, it's also important to think about how we can carry these principles forward into the rest of the year. The values of equality, justice, and service don't belong to a single day. Organizations can make a lasting impact by committing to regular diversity training, fostering continuous learning, and engaging in ongoing community service. Even small steps can create a workplace culture that honors Dr. King's ideals every day. Steps like curating a library of resources on civil rights or offering workshops on unconscious bias. Ultimately, celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day at work is about more than looking back on history. It's about taking the lessons of the past and using them to shape a better future. When we engage in activities that honor Dr. King's legacy, whether through education, service, or open dialogue, we're not just paying tribute to his incredible contributions. We're taking steps to create a more inclusive, thoughtful, and socially responsible workplace. That's a legacy worth continuing on MLK Day and every day.